Hey, welcome to this edition of Safety Seconds. This is Alan Wolford. So today what we're going to talk about is signage. One of the reasons that this is such an important thing recently, in the past 2 years, working with various clients, going out and consulting, going out to various brownfield construction sites, one of the things that you see is signage, or you see a lack of signage. Most recently, looking at the OSHA websites and looking at the establishment searches, you can look and review, some of the compliance issues that OSHA found on various sites, and a lot of it is under hazard communication. They may not have certain things to indicate, slip surfaces, change in steps, or cracks, any type of trip hazard. And a lot of your smaller companies that don't have full-time safety don't know these things. They don't know what the required signs are. They may have their insurance company, their producer, come in and say, oh, well, you need to do this, you need to post that. So with this My Safety sign, you can see there's a variety. So some of the biggest issues that I see out there is where there's danger of flammable gas. But what's missing from here is where you have flammable gases and flammable materials. You don't see the signage, telling personnel not to have open flames, not to be smoking in the area. And then, in other areas, you'll see things like this, where you've got nip points, pinch points, the stickers and stuff. It gives a good indication. And what a lot of clients are asking us is, well, what signs do I have to have, and what has to be posted to make it for OSHA? So under 1910-144, if you look under, it has color indications. So red should be the basic color for the identification of fire protection and equipment and apparatus. Danger safety cans, anything that deals with flammability or dangerous goods, danger signs shall be painted red. And you've got emergency stop gears. You've got yellow, where it's the basic color for designating caution and marking a physical hazard, such as striking against, stumble, falls, tripping, and caught between. So there's actually a guide to colors. If you go through, this is on Creative Safety Supply. So ANSI has, colors as well. So under here, red is color used on any safety sign, label, or other to signify danger or to alert people they need to stop. Same thing, and I'll go back to the safety sign. If you look over here, confined spaces, they're required to say danger confined space, not caution confined space. It should say, if it's a permit required confined space, that it's on there too. So there's a lot of different things. That way they could identify, this is a permit required confined space, this is a confined space. But again, so you have different colors. Over here, orange is a color used to alert people to the fact that there are dangerous parts of a machine or equipment. So if you're looking on electrical panels, you'll see on it, like 120, 440 volts. You'll see that a lot on electrical panels and on the outside. You'll see things also about arc flash. Yellow, anywhere that caution needs to be used. The color yellow should be primary on signs or labels alerting people to this fact. Similar to OSHA, this includes risk of tripping, falling, getting burned, being caught, and a lot of people don't understand that. So, when you're looking at it and you're assessing it, you're going to say, okay, we need to use caution. If this is a pinch nip point, it should have the guards in place. Those should be there as well. But you should have signage, that indicates and labels and things where if they're placing machinery, they can get caught in between. A lot of companies now put caution forklifts in area just to alert people, about getting caught in between and caught behind. So what a lot of people don't know is there's actually, if you go to ANSI and some of the others, signs look completely different. Now, if you go back here, you see these danger signs. You see the warning signs up here. Again, that's a warning for a moderate hazard and stuff, but a lot of people don't use that because they want warning out, either take caution or danger. So depending on your facility, depending on that, when you look at these signs, the newer ones have this diamond with the exclamation point to alert you. So danger, arc flash hazard, authorized personnel only. And then on the outside of this panel, depending if you're looking at something and you look at electrical safety, it should say what the voltage is. This is for compressor. This is actually an air thing. But there should be indications there about, 140, 220, information about the voltage on the inside. Caution, high noise area. So because of that, there's putting indications, and you'll see a lot of these pictograms. So a lot of people are like, well, if I go to these sites, they've got mandatory signs. What do I need to do? Well, again, you assess your areas. Which areas do you need caution? Which areas are danger? So then they go to these sites and they're like, well, let me buy this, let me buy that. Well, if the danger or caution is there and you need to make it now, there's a great place where you can go online and make these signs. Now, I learned about this years ago when I was in construction, but when online signs was doing it, a lot of people didn't utilize it because they were like, well, how much does it cost? This is free. So you go up here, you see this onlinesign.com. I made the cursor a little bit bigger so it's easier to follow. So this is simply going to help you, if you got to place signage immediately, a condition changes. I use this quite frequently during COVID to put up additional signs like, new chemicals in use, constant, we put danger when we were using UVC light to go in and sanitize common areas, or we had UVC light in the HVAC systems. So we'd put signs, so if HVAC had to come by, UVC light, inside container, there was a whole lockout process just for the UVC light. So let's look at this. So we got online signs. So the way it works is if you come over and you scroll down to the left, you see where it says OSHA. So you could click on danger, and what'll happen is that sign will go up to a danger sign. You could use caution, and once you click on that, it'll change this up here. So it'll go back to a caution sign, and right there. So let's say you've got danger, and we'll just highlight this area right here, and we'll say permit required confined space. This is how easy this is. So as I'm typing it, it does not fill that in. What you're going to do is put your message in, and then right here, update sign text. So because something happened over here, we're going to put back the danger. I don't know why it switched to caution. There we go. Permit required confined space. And it usually doesn't do that, so I must have hit one of the keys on them. So again, you could type your material in here. One of the things, I'm sorry. And now I'm going to update the sign text. So as it does it, there it goes. So yeah, you would have thought I would have caught that. So one of the things that people said is they said, what if I have a multilingual, job site and I need it in Spanish? Well, you could go to translate, and this is what we did at a couple of sites, especially when we were using, there we go. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to highlight this. When we had like Japanese at Exidy, we had Spanish speaking, construction sites. So what we'll do is we'll go, and again, you need to get somebody to check this, because while it does help, sometimes the things that you'll type does not actually match. So we would highlight that. Permiso para espacios. I'm not even going to try to say that. I do not speak Spanish well. And then we'll go inside here again. Put that in. Update the sign text. So now I've got it in English and in Spanish. Now again, this is just a temporary sign. Now, if you're on a construction site, or you're doing a construction or maintenance project, it's going to need to be up there for quite a while. Not with the confined space. This needs to be a permanent thing. But you'd also want to put what space that is, because if you have a confined space program, and this is R12, I can flip to my confined space book, look at the lotto procedures, ventilation, rescue procedures, everything that's necessary for that hole. But you'd want to set up, and you can laminate these. So if you're, say, doing, pressure washing in a vessel, or you're dry ice blasting in an area, you're going to remove the cover, and so usually that danger sign is on that cover. Some companies have upgraded their facilities where they also put a placard above it, so if the door's removed, the danger sign still exists. So you got to look at the conditions. You got to look at what you're trying to notify personnel of. So you could do that. You could put danger permit required confined space, laminate it, put it to the side, and that way people that are coming up. Same thing. If you need caution sign, especially with winter weather coming in, a lot of people will put down stuff like, let's say, watch for ice, because slip and falls. And they'll take and put these signs all over the place. We'll update the sign text. But one of the great things, you see how it says watch for ice? We can also add a pictogram. So the way we'll do to the pictogram is we'll put on that plus sign right there where the thumb was at, and we'll go down and we'll look for something where it shows someone slipping, because we're wanting to get their attention, right? And people will respond to pictures if they don't see where we clicked on that. I'll click on this again just to show you. See how that changed? That went to high noise levels. And when you click on the pictograms, it'll actually put in, caution, slippery surface. But what I want to do is, because of the weather, we're indicating what causes slippery surface. It could be water, whatever. Watch for ice. Because it does good if you tell someone, hey, we got this. But it does even better when you're telling them what to look out for. So you got the pictogram, and now you tell them, hey, watch for ice, slippery condition. Because if they can't read it, it's not in their common language, they see that helps it out. So, very simple. You can put pictograms in. When you click on it, like the compressed gas and stuff like that, it will auto-populate, depending on, I don't know why I did that. We'll do that. Update sign text. So it's got the biohazard. It automatically populates it. If it's electrical, you click on that electrical icon. Update sign text. Danger of death due to electricity. You can put down what the cause is. So put these signs, laminate them, put up Velcro, glue them in place, whatever you need to do to indicate where your danger or caution is. So another way for this, because of COVID, because of health things, you can make a variety of things. You can put up safety signage about where your first aid kits are. And see, I put that up. I'm not even changing anything. I'm going to update the sign text, caution, medical point, but you'd use a different signage. So, you'd switch over. I'm going to go down again, click on that, safety first, medical point. And if you want to get, an idea, just think safety first. You don't have to put that symbol up. We can take that out simply by clicking on the safety first. And then it'll pop, that sign will come up here. You could change it. You don't have to have the pictograms. But again, you could go over here. You want to do an emergency exit. The bad side about having this big cursor, so you guys can see it, is that it wants to get out. So if you hit the top right corner of the plus, you'll see all these come down. So you can put emergency exit to the left, emergency exit to the right, first aid station, fire exit. So there's a variety of things. You could say elevator, shower. So we'll click on that. Medical point, but then update signage, emergency medical shower. Very simple. All right, so let's talk about something relevant. A lot of people don't think about this. We're going to put up a different type of sign. We're going to put up the notice sign, because right now a lot of people are, dealing with COVID and other things. So when you have a blue sign, this is something that, hey, this is mandatory. One of the great things about online signs, where you're having to deal with so many different things, you can put all these ADA, you could put fire, but down here, there's a mandatory. This is like an OSHA mandatory. Look right here. They just put in these social distancing things. So there's 2 meters and then 1 meter. It's got different things, because this is basically, they have stuff for the U.S., but different areas require like sanitation. If you got to sanitize before going in, if you have to wear a mask, you've got mask over here. So if you say, hey, no entering without mask, no entering without sanitizing, no entering without doing this, you can actually put these in. So you could click on this one and it'll tell them wear a mask. You can go down here. We'll go back down and do a social distance. So we'll go in here and we'll just change it. Maintain social distance. And then we'll update the sign text. And it's got the image telling them that. So you do this. So how do you make your sign? Well, here's how you do it. Right after you change and modify and get everything the way you want it, you see where it says save, sign, and print? What it's going to do is it's going to generate a PDF. So we'll just go right here and do test sign. Save it wherever you want to. And then, as you see, it's converting it to a PDF. You click it open, and there's your sign. So now all you have to do is print it out, laminate it, and we'll simulate that. We'll do Control P. What you'll have to do is when you go to print it, on some of these you got to tell it, hey, fit it inside this, do this. Make sure you print it to color, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to try and print in black and white for you. So make sure you do that, and there's your signs. This is Alan Wolford, and thank you for watching Safety Seconds.